Imagine you are deep in the heart of a tropical rainforest, or perhaps on the edge of a frozen Siberian tundra. You feel a pair of eyes watching you from the shadows. Eyes that can see in total darkness and movements so silent they don't even disturb a dry leaf. You aren't just looking at a predator. You are looking at the result of 30 million years of biological perfection. We often think of cats as the sleepy companions on our sofas. But out in the vast wilderness of our planet, there are 40 distinct species of wild felines that reign supreme across every imaginable habitat. From the legendary tigers that haunt the jungles of India to tiny, specialized killers no bigger than a house kitten, the family Felidae is the most successful and specialized group of mammalian hunters to ever walk the earth. Today we are embarking on a massive deep dive into every single lineage of these incredible animals. We are going to deconstruct their unique adaptations, explore the rare species you've probably never heard of, and understand why these beautiful creatures are the ultimate masters of their domains. Whether they are climbing mountains, swimming through swamps, or sprinting across savannas, these cats are the gold standard of nature. So, settle in, because we are about to journey through the entire family tree of the world's wild cats, and I promise you, by the end of this, you'll never look at your pet tabby the same way again. To understand wild cats, we have to look at how they are organized. Scientists divide them into 8 distinct lineages that branched off from a common ancestor millions of years ago. The first and most famous is the Panthera lineage, often called the Great Cats. This group includes the heavyweights of the feline world, and they are unique because most of them possess a specialized structure in their throat that allows them to roar. At the top of this list is the tiger, the largest feline on the planet. A male Siberian tiger can weigh over 300 kilograms. Unlike most cats, tigers love the water and are incredible swimmers, often crossing wide rivers to hunt. Their stripes are like human fingerprints, completely unique to each individual, providing the perfect camouflage in the dappled light of the forest. Next, we have the lion, the only truly social cat. Living in prides allows them to take down massive prey that no single cat could handle. The male's mane isn't just for show. It protects his neck during disputes and signals his health to potential mates. Then there is the jaguar, the powerhouse of the Americas. Jaguars have the strongest bite force relative to their size of any cat, capable of piercing the thick hides of caimans and even the shells of turtles. They are the undisputed kings of the Amazon. Rounding out the great cats are the leopard and the snow leopard. The leopard is the ultimate opportunist, found across both Africa and Asia. They are famous for their strength, often dragging prey twice their own weight high into the branches of trees to keep it away from hyenas and lions. The snow leopard, on the other hand, is the ghost of the mountains. Living in the high altitudes of Central Asia, they have thick, smoky gray fur and a massive furry tail that they wrap around themselves like a blanket to stay warm in the sub-zero temperatures. Their paws act like natural snowshoes, allowing them to move effortlessly across the drifts. These 5 species represent the pinnacle of power in the cat world, but they are just the beginning of the story. Moving away from the giants, we enter the world of the bay cat lineage, a mysterious group found mostly in the dense jungles of Southeast Asia. This group includes the marbled cat, which looks like a miniature version of a clouded leopard. It has an incredibly long tail, often longer than its body, which it uses for balance as it hunts birds and squirrels high in the canopy. Then there is the Asian golden cat, a highly adaptable hunter that comes in many different color phases, from bright cinnamon to dark charcoal. The black sheep of this family is the bay cat itself, one of the rarest and least studied cats in the world. Found only on the island of Borneo, it was so elusive that scientists didn't even have a clear photograph of a living one until the late 1990s. These cats remind us that even in the modern age, there are still felines that hold on to their secrets in the deep green of the jungle. The third group is the caracal lineage, which brings us to the arid landscapes of Africa and parts of Asia. The caracal is easily recognized by the long black tufts of fur on its ears. These tufts are thought to help funnel sound or perhaps communicate with other cats through subtle twitches. Caracals are the acrobats of the feline world, capable of leaping 3 meters straight into the air to swat a bird right out of the sky. In the same family, we find the serval. If you saw a serval from a distance, you might think it was a small cheetah with oversized ears. It has the longest legs relative to its body size of any cat, which it uses to peer over tall grass. Its hearing is so acute that it can detect the ultrasonic squeaks of rodents underground, pouncing with a high arcing leap to pin its prey before it even knows a predator is nearby. The third member of this group is the African golden cat, a shy inhabitant of the Central African rainforests that looks very different from its savanna cousins, preferring the shadows of the dense undergrowth. Now we move to the Americas for the ocelot lineage. This is a diverse group of small to medium-sized cats that have mastered the varied terrains of Central and South America. The ocelot is the most famous, with a coat so beautiful it was once highly sought after by the fur trade. They are primarily nocturnal and highly territorial. Close relatives include the margay, which is perhaps the best climber in the entire cat family. The margay has specialized ankle joints that can rotate 180 degrees, allowing it to run head first down a tree trunk like a squirrel. It can even hang from a branch by a single hind paw while hunting. Also in this group are the Jeffroy's cat, the code, and the oncilla. The code is the smallest cat in the Americas, weighing only about 2 kilograms, yet it is a fierce hunter of birds and lizards in the temperate forests of Chile. These cats show that size isn't everything when it comes to being a successful predator. Perhaps the most specialized group is the lynx lineage, found across the northern hemisphere. These cats are built for the cold. There are 4 species: the Eurasian lynx, the Canada lynx, the Iberian lynx, and the bobcat. The Eurasian lynx is a formidable hunter, capable of taking down small deer. The Canada lynx is a specialist that relies almost entirely on the snowshoe hare. Their populations rise and fall in a 10-year cycle synchronized with their prey. The Iberian lynx is one of the rarest cats in the world, once on the brink of vanishing but now making a heroic recovery in the cork oak forests of Spain and Portugal. The bobcat is the most widespread, found from southern Canada down into Mexico. It is a rugged generalist, able to thrive in swamps, deserts, and suburban backyards. With their short tails and tufted ears, the lynx family represents the rugged endurance of life in the north. The puma lineage is a fascinating group that contains 2 very different-looking cats that are actually close relatives, the puma and the jaguarundi. The puma, also known as the mountain lion or cougar, has the largest range of any wild land mammal in the Americas, stretching from the Yukon all the way to the tip of the Andes. Even though it is large, it belongs to the subfamily of small cats because it cannot roar. Instead, it purrs, whistles, and screams. Its close cousin, the jaguarundi, looks more like a weasel or an otter than a typical cat. It has a long body, short legs, and a small, flattened head. Jaguarundis are unusual because they are primarily active during the day and are often seen near water. Also in this lineage is the cheetah, the fastest land animal on Earth. The cheetah's entire anatomy is built for speed, with non-retractable claws that act like running spikes and a long tail that functions as a rudder during high-speed chases across the African plains. The 7th group is the leopard cat lineage. Dominant across Asia, the leopard cat itself is a highly successful small predator found from the islands of Indonesia to the edge of the Himalayas. In this family, we find the fishing cat, one of nature's most unique specialists. Unlike most cats that avoid getting wet, the fishing cat has partially webbed paws and is a master at diving for fish and hunting frogs in marshes. Another relative is the flat-headed cat, a strange-looking feline with an elongated head and eyes set far forward. It lives along rivers and has teeth that are specialized for gripping slippery prey like fish and crustaceans. This lineage also includes the Pallas's cat, the roundest cat in the world. Living in the high-altitude steppes of Mongolia, its thick, long fur makes it look much larger than it is, providing essential insulation against the biting winds. Its low-set ears and flat forehead allow it to peer over rocks without being spotted by birds of prey. Finally, we have the Felis lineage, which includes the ancestors of our domestic companions. This group features the African wildcat, the direct progenitor of the house cat. They look remarkably similar to a typical pet tabby, but with slightly longer legs and a more reddish tint to the backs of their ears. Also here is the European wildcat, a bulkier, more aggressive version found in the forests of Europe. The jungle cat, despite its name, prefers tall reeds and wetlands across the Middle East and Asia. Then there is the sand cat, the only feline that lives almost entirely in true deserts. Sand cats have thick fur on the bottom of their paws to protect them from the scorching sand, and can survive months without drinking a single drop of water, getting all their moisture from their prey. Last but not least is the black-footed cat, the smallest wild cat in Africa. Don't let its cute appearance fool you. It is the most efficient hunter in the entire cat family, with a success rate of over 60%. It consumes more rodents and birds in a single night than a leopard does in a week. As we look at these 40 species, the diversity of their adaptations is incredible. Each one has evolved to fill a specific niche in its environment. Why did they become so successful? The answer lies in their specialized tools. All cats possess retractable claws, though the cheetah is a partial exception. This keeps their hunting weapons sharp, as they don't get worn down by walking on rocky soil. Their eyes have a reflective layer called the tapetum lucidum, which essentially gives them a second chance to see. Light that passes through the retina is reflected back, allowing them to hunt in light levels 6 times lower than what humans require. Their whiskers are not just hair. They are sophisticated tactile sensors hooked directly into their nervous system, allowing them to feel their way through tight spaces and detect minute changes in air currents. The hunting technique of cats is also a masterclass in efficiency. Most wild cats are ambush predators. They don't want a long, exhausting chase. Instead, they use their camouflage to get as close as possible before launching a short, explosive burst of speed. A tiger can vanish in grass only a few inches high, and a leopard can move through dry brush without making a sound. They are built for power rather than endurance, with massive shoulder muscles and extremely flexible spines that allow for enormous stride lengths. Their hearing is another secret weapon. Many of the small cats can hear frequencies into the ultrasonic range, allowing them to track the high-pitched communication of small mammals that are completely invisible to us. The geography of wild cats also tells a story of an ever-changing world. Millions of years ago, as sea levels rose and fell, these cats crossed land bridges between continents. This explains why we find similar lineages in completely different parts of the world. The ancestors of the ocelot crossed from Asia into North America, and later moved down into South America when the Isthmus of Panama formed. The cats we see today are the survivors of various ice ages and climatic shifts. They have proven to be incredibly resilient, adapting to everything from the high-altitude deserts of the Andes to the sweltering mangroves of India. However, being an apex predator comes with its own set of challenges. Because they are at the top of the food chain, wild cats require large territories to find enough food. A single male tiger might need hundreds of square kilometers to himself. This makes them extremely vulnerable to habitat loss. As forests are cleared for agriculture and cities expand, these territories are fragmented, forcing cats into closer contact with people. This often leads to disputes over livestock, which rarely ends well for the felines. Conservationists are working on wildlife corridors, strips of protected land that connect different habitats, allowing cats to move safely between regions without encountering human settlements. Climate change is another looming threat, particularly for specialists like the snow leopard and the Canada lynx. As the world warms, the tree line in the mountains moves higher, shrinking the alpine habitat the snow leopard relies on. In the north, shorter winters and thinner snow crusts make it harder for the Canada lynx to outcompete other predators like the bobcat, which is beginning to move further north into lynx territory. The future of these cats depends on our ability to preserve the vast, connected landscapes they need to thrive. But it's not all bad news. There have been incredible success stories in feline conservation. The Iberian lynx, which we mentioned earlier, was down to fewer than 100 individuals in the early 2000s. Through intensive habitat restoration, captive breeding, and the reintroduction of their primary prey, the rabbit, their population has grown to over 1,000. In Russia and China, the Amur leopard, the rarest big cat on Earth, has seen its numbers triple in the last 2 decades thanks to strict anti-poaching measures and the creation of large transboundary parks. These examples show that when we give nature space and protection, these resilient animals can bounce back from the brink. One of the most fascinating aspects of wild cats is their relationship with humans throughout history. Long before we had pet cats, we viewed big cats with a mixture of terror and divine awe. In ancient Egypt, the goddess Bastet was originally portrayed as a fierce lioness protector before evolving into a more domestic form. In pre-Columbian America, the jaguar was a central figure in Mayan and Aztec mythology, representing the night and the underworld. In India, the tiger is a symbol of power and is the national animal. We have always recognized something of ourselves in the cat, a mixture of grace, independence, and fierce determination. Even our modern house cats still carry the wild inside them. If you watch your pet cat pounce on a toy, you are seeing the exact same mechanics used by a leopard cat in the jungles of Thailand. The way they chatter at birds through a window is a relic of a specialized hunting behavior used to deliver a quick blow to a bird's neck. Their preference for high places is a carryover from ancestors like the marbled cat or the leopard, for whom height meant safety from larger predators and a better view of potential prey. We haven't really domesticated cats so much as we have invited a small, wild predator to share our homes. Let's talk a bit more about the smaller, less famous species, as they are often the most interesting. The flat-headed cat, for instance, is such a specialist that it would be lost without a river. It spends its time wading in shallow water, and its long, non-retractable claws act like fishing hooks. Or the rusty spotted cat of India and Sri Lanka, which is so small it can fit in the palm of a human hand. Despite its tiny size, it is incredibly brave and has been seen chasing away much larger animals that get too close to its den. These forgotten cats are just as important to their ecosystems as the lions and tigers, keeping rodent and insect populations in check and acting as indicators of a healthy environment. Then there is the clouded leopard, often called the modern-day saber-tooth. They have the longest canine teeth relative to their skull size of any living feline. They are almost entirely arboreal and are found in the rainforests of Southeast Asia. Their spots are large and irregular, looking like clouds, which provides incredible camouflage in the tropical shadows. There are actually two species, the mainland clouded leopard and the Sunda clouded leopard, which were only recently recognized as separate after DNA testing showed they had been apart for over 1 million years. They represent a unique branch of the great cat lineage that specialized in life in the trees. The marbled cat is another forest ghost. It is often mistaken for a clouded leopard because of its beautiful coat, but it is much smaller. Its tail is so long and thick that it is almost like a fifth limb, helping it balance on the highest branches. Because they live in such dense, remote forests, we still know very little about their social lives or how they raise their young. Every time a researcher captures a photo of one on a trail camera, it is cause for celebration. These are the front lines of discovery in feline biology. In the mountains of South America, the Andean mountain cat is one of the world's most endangered felines. It looks like a small gray snow leopard and lives in the rocky, barren terrain of the Andes, high above the tree line. It specializes in hunting a large rodent called the mountain viscacha. Because the environment is so harsh and prey is so sparse, these cats live at extremely low densities. Local communities have started to see them as symbols of the mountain's health, and community-led conservation programs are proving to be the best way to protect them from local threats. While we often focus on their individual traits, we should also consider the role these cats play in their communities. As apex predators, they are regulators of the natural world. By keeping herbivore populations from overgrazing, they allow forests and grasslands to regenerate. This in turn provides habitat for hundreds of other species, from birds and insects to reptiles and smaller mammals. When a big cat disappears from an ecosystem, the whole system can fall out of balance, leading to a loss of biodiversity. This is why saving a tiger or a lion isn't just about saving one animal. It's about saving an entire world. The evolution of wild cats is a story of specialization. Whereas dogs and other carnivores often rely on social cooperation and endurance running, cats have perfected the individual hunt. Their bodies are finely tuned instruments of stealth. Their velvet-soft paws have specialized pads that muffle the sound of their footsteps. Even their tongues are specialized. They are covered in tiny, backward-curving spines called papilla, which are made of the same material as their claws and hair. These hooks allow cats to groom themselves effectively and rasp every bit of nourishment from the bones of their prey. One of the most impressive things about wild cats is their sensory world. We've mentioned their sight and hearing, but their sense of smell is also highly developed. They have a specialized organ in the roof of their mouth called the Jacobson's organ. You might have seen a cat pull a strange face, lifting its upper lip after smelling something interesting. This is called the flamen response. They are essentially tasting the air to get a better read on the chemical signals left by other animals. This is vital for finding mates and defending territories in the vast wilderness. Their vocalizations are also much more complex than we often think. Aside from roaring and purring, wild cats use a wide range of sounds to communicate. The cheetah chirps like a bird to call its cubs. The snow leopard prusts, a soft snort that is used as a friendly greeting. Small cats use a variety of meows, growls, and hisses that are tailored to their specific environments. Much of their communication is also silent, using scent markings and visual cues like the position of their ears or the twitch of their tail to convey their intentions without making a sound that might alert a prey animal. As we move forward into a future where the wild spaces are shrinking, our relationship with these 40 species is at a turning point. We have the technology to track them, the science to understand them, and the resources to protect them. The question is whether we have the will to share the planet with them. Each of these cats, from the massive Siberian tiger to the tiny black-footed cat, is a unique masterpiece of nature. They represent the beauty and the raw power of the wild. To lose even one of these species would be like tearing a page out of the history of life on Earth. Conservation doesn't just happen in far-off jungles. It starts with awareness. By learning about the diverse species of wild cats, we begin to see the incredible complexity of the natural world. We start to understand that every forest, desert, and mountain range has its own guardians that have been there for millions of years. These cats are the threads that hold their ecosystems together. Whether it's the lynx in the snowy forests of Canada or the leopard cat in the lush islands of Indonesia, they are all part of the same incredible family tree. As you go about your day, perhaps see if you can spot the wild traits in the cats around you. Watch how a domestic cat focuses on a moth with the same intensity as a lion on a gazelle. Look at the way their ears rotate to catch every sound. These are the echoes of the wild, a connection to a world of predators that has existed since long before humans ever built a city. The 40 species of wild cats are a testament to the resilience and the brilliance of evolution. They are the ultimate survivors, the silent hunters, and the beautiful kings and queens of the natural world. The journey of the feline family is far from over. New discoveries about their behavior, their genetics, and their ecology are being made every day. We are finding that they are even more complex and intelligent than we gave them credit for. They have social structures, memory, and a sophisticated understanding of their environments. By protecting them, we are protecting the wildness that makes our planet so special. Each wild cat is a living anchor to the natural world, a reminder that there is still magic and mystery in the deep woods and the high mountains. Throughout this deep dive, we've seen how these cats have conquered every corner of the globe. They have faced challenges that have lasted for millennia, from shifting continents to changing climates. They are the gold standard of what it means to be a predator. They are also animals that need our respect and our protection. The 40 species of wild cats are 40 different stories of success, and it is up to us to ensure that those stories continue for millions of years to come. Let the image of the snow leopard in the high Himalayas or the fishing cat in the swamps of Asia stay with you. Remember the tiny rusty-spotted cat and the powerful jaguar. They are all part of the same incredible lineage. They are the Felidae family, nature's most perfect hunting machines, and the most beautiful animals to ever grace the wilderness. Thank you for exploring this magnificent world of wild cats with us. There is always more to learn and more to see in the great animal kingdom. Keep your eyes on the shadows and your heart in the wild.